Hello, my name is Adora. I am 25 years old and I am a project manager. I work with one of Nigeria's leading financial institution, and this is my segment on young sustainability professionals with Agatha. What does a typical workday look like for me? A typical workday for me would mean having to conceptualize, design, as well as manage sustainability initiatives within the bank. I also have to communicate, prepare progress reports, work with other stakeholders as well as resource persons on the project to ensure that the project is delivered within the required budget and also on time. What's the coolest project you've worked on so far, and why did it stand out for you? The coolest project I've worked on so far was the Gender Mainstreaming for Climate Entrepreneurship project that I led in March 2024. That project stood out for me because I had to deal with women like myself. The project was aimed at bringing in more women into the climate entrepreneurship space. So that meant I had to work with a number of startups who were women led businesses, women that had businesses around circular fashion, women that had businesses in clean energy, women that had businesses in circularity, and the likes. So I worked with them. I had the opportunity to directly mentor them, as well as provide resource persons who helps them to walk through their businesses. They were able to see loopholes in their businesses and how they were able to bring their businesses up to standard in the industry, right? Because from my experience, a lot of women do not really think that they can thrive in this space. When I say this space, I mean in sustainability and in this emerging sector that we currently play in. So that project stood out for me because I had the opportunity to deal with all women, which was against my experience working in the space generally, where if I had to work on a sustainability project, I had to engage more with men, right? Because men, they know how to stand up for themselves, they know how to find their way around things, but women, we are always laid back and we want to make sure that all our I's are dotted and our T's crossed. So that project stood out for me because I had the opportunity to offer mentorship, had the opportunity to encourage them, and we're able to transform their businesses sort of, and it was a very good project at the end of the day. What are some of the key courses or certifications that helped shape your career? So first of all, the key course or certification that has shaped my career would be my bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's in environmental education from the University of Benin, and that has been the foundation for me. My lecturers while in school, they did a good job in helping to nurture the passion for sustainability and development in me, and I kind of ran with that. But currently in my career, I would say most of the courses that I have taken are massive open online courses on Coursera. I've taken a course on innovation management, I've taken a course on venture capital, green finance, and sustainable finance. But the truth is that most courses or certifications in sustainability, they are quite pricey. Most of them are priced in foreign currencies. That would mean you having to pay a lot of money in pounds, euros, dollars, and the likes. But I'm looking at changing the narrative for myself. I mean, I have to save up in order to acquire those certifications, which are some of my short-term goals. So yes, that has been what I've been up to up till this point. What are the key soft skills you think are essential for sustainability professionals beyond technical knowledge? This question is very important. I say it's important because a lot of people think that when you talk about sustainability, you have to understand things like scope 1, 2, 3 emissions. You have to understand the technicalities of how climate change works and all of that. But it is really, really, really far from that. Soft skills are very important because this is an emerging space. Not a lot of people know what you are talking about. So you could know all the technical jargons, you could be an expert in doing some technical analysis and all of that. But the two soft skills that I think are very necessary for you to grow in your career as a sustainability professional would be communication, one, and secondly, research. The first is more important because communication is something that would help you to convey your ideas, would help you to convey those initiatives, those great thoughts that you know or you think would save the world, those things that you know that, okay, once you deploy them, it's going to change the narrative for your community, it's going to change the narrative for the environment or even for the world in general. Right, so one key soft skill would be communication. You should be able to communicate your ideas to stakeholders, you should be able to communicate your ideas to your community, get their buy-in, and so that you can have everyone behind you, solidly behind you, in order to launch that initiative. And the second would be research. Right, you need to have your facts, you need to be sure what you are saying, you need to be certain that whatever it is that you're going to be doing is not going to cause more problem than good. Right, because sustainability or any of its underlying sectors or themes, there are things that are emerging. We don't really have a lot of data out there, especially local data when it comes to the Nigerian context. So you have to get your research right. You have to be able to do this research, both desk research and go into the field. But aside that, after doing the research, remember you still have to communicate that. So knowing how to communicate, which is a soft skill, is very important as a sustainability professional. Okay, so what's one of the biggest challenges you faced in your career so far, and how did you overcome it? I would say one of the biggest challenges that I encountered starting off, right? I had mentioned that I have a background in the environmental sciences, but it was quite difficult, gaining that very first entry into the space. I would say it was difficult because environmental sustainability or sustainability in general is not a field that anybody wakes up to or says, oh, this is what I want to do. I mean, as at the time I started, it was not something anybody wanted to do, and it's still an emerging space, right? So as a young person, a young graduate, I was caught between, okay, what, that very burning question, what do I do? So that was one challenge I had, having to know that, okay, where would I start off from? But I had the opportunity to intern, so that was what broke the jinx for me. Because I had volunteered, I had been able to develop some soft skills and as well as hard skills. I had skills in communication, I had skills in graphics design, and those very little administrative skills that I think were very useful to organizations then, and also for the level I was trying to get into. So I started off as an intern, and that was the platform that I had to enter into the industry, and it was a very wonderful experience. Because I had volunteered, I had been able to build myself to a certain level. I was able to break that jinx, and had the opportunity to put my foot in the door. What short-term goals are you working towards in your career right now? The short-term goal that I'm working towards is developing myself, building more knowledge and technical expertise, and that would mean having to pursue a number of certifications, and also furthering my education, right? Being able to get a master's degree in the field, and also work on larger projects, basically. So those are some of my short-term goals at the moment. Who is someone in the industry you look up to, and why? Everyone in the industry is awesome. Those that I've had the opportunity to engage in, they are wonderful. They are people that, in fact, I look up to everybody who is my superior in the sustainability space, especially here in Nigeria. I've had the opportunity to engage with a number of them one-on-one, and one thing that stands out for me when I meet these people is that they exude so much knowledge. there is this when you meet a sustainability professional, you are wowed because they just know a lot, and they are very passionate. They want to solve this very humongous problem of climate change and providing sustainable alternatives to most of the things that we currently use that are not sustainable, right? So I do not have one specific person that I look up to in the industry. Rather, all of my superiors, my bosses, the people who have had the opportunity to work with on numerous life-changing projects, they are all wonderful, and this is an opportunity to shout out to each and every one of them. You guys are amazing. Let's keep on doing the great work that we do, and at the end of the day, I know that Nigeria is going to be spotlighted when it comes to having sustainable solutions that drive our economic progress forward. How do you stay updated on the latest trends and innovations in sustainability? First of all, I belong to a number of networks, which are usually digital communities, right, on across LinkedIn, WhatsApp, also within my organization, right? I try to identify with other sustainability professionals. I stay connected with them across social media platforms so that I'm able to see and engage with most of the industry trends that they are also on. So this has kind of helped me to stay ahead. I'm able to know what the latest gist is, where the latest funding is currently, and the likes of that. So social media basically, because even though I try as much as possible to attend industry events courtesy of my organization and also the scope of my work, when I go for these events, I try to network, I try to speak to one or two persons to also understand what they are doing, how we can partner or possibly collaborate, because collaboration is very key when it comes to being a sustainability professional. You can't do everything alone. You don't have all of the knowledge, you don't have all of the expertise, right? So to stay ahead, I stay connected to my colleagues on social media. I network with them when I go for industry events, and pretty much I also try as much as possible to stay visible, right? I try to stay visible. I share some of my work on social media, try to connect with colleagues, and that way I'm able to stay ahead on the latest trend in the sector. What's one piece of advice you give to young professionals starting in the sustainability space? This is very important. I would just say what helped me. What helped me was volunteering and building my skills, right? When I learned something new, I try to use the skill. I don't just learn and have it inside of me. I look out for opportunities to give back, maybe to a senior colleague, to a mentor, or anybody that I know that, okay, you're working on something and I have a knowledge of this thing. I would always want to volunteer that skill so that I can build myself, so that I can, when I'm handed that responsibility fully, I can stay accountable, because I know that I have this experience, I've done this before, and so I put my best foot forward.
Hello everyone, if you've stayed this long in the episode, it means you like what you see and what you hear. Please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the content, leave a comment, and share on your statuses and your stories. Please tag me, I'll be happy to repost. This helps us build the community and also grow the channel. Your support means the world to us. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the episode.
What advice would you give to professionals looking to transition into the sustainability or ESG space from unrelated fields? One advice would be, one, identify your transferable skills. I had earlier mentioned that ESG is or sustainability development, they are cross-functional, they are multidisciplinary, right? There is no one skill that is required. So analytical skills, technical skills, soft skills, communication, data analysis, design, whatever skill that you had in your previous role, there are some of those skills that are transferable. So you have to do like a form of analysis. What sector do you want to go into? Are you looking at going into clean energy? Are you looking at going into consultancy? Whatever niche that you want to build for yourself, the first thing you would have to do is, what are those transferable skills from your previous role or your previous sector identify those skills, and then seek out opportunities to collaborate or volunteer with those skills. And trust me, you'll be doing yourself more good than whatever it is that you think you would be doing. If you could describe your job in 3 emojis, what would they be? On a lighter note, I would say, I mean, I can't describe emojis, but it is fun, it is tasking. I mean, this is a very honest conversation. It is tasking. And the last would be it is fulfilling, knowing that whatever it is that I am doing has a direct impact on lives across Nigeria. People are able to feel my impact wherever it is that they currently are. I'm able to influence some sort of initiatives that when it gets to the end user, they're very happy. They feel fulfilled. They are not burdened with that solution. It's something that they're able to use in terms of clean energy, in terms of working with entrepreneurs to better their businesses. So that's pretty much how my job has been in the last 4 or 5 years that I've been working in the space. So thank you so much for listening to this honest conversation, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this particular conversation.